Yo, what is up? What's up, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this NBA channel. So let's get straight into it. Talking to Queen Teeth, talking goes like FIFA. Confidence might demean. We got robbed. We've been robbed. On January 29th, the Detroit Pistons made the absolute most random blockbuster trade ever with the Los Angeles Clippers for Blake Griffin. And the Pistons had to give up Avery Bradley, Tobias Harris, and also a first round pick that was protected 1 through 4. Now, when that trade first went down, some people were hyped about it, and other people like me were worried about the Pistons and had mixed feelings about the whole thing. This was an extremely risky move because it can backfire, and low-key, it already has. Take a look at this video I made hours after the trade went down. The Clippers traded away Blake Griffin, Bryce Johnson, and Willie Reed for Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, and their first and second round picks. Now, my initial reaction to this trade, trying to break it down in my mind. Hold up. Now, I'm sorry to interrupt because this has nothing to do with the video. Oh my God, do you see how good my hair looked back then? Could have pulled anyone's daughter. What the heck of my hair? But anyways, back to the topic of this video. So now my initial reaction to this trade, trying to break it down in my mind, this trade could end up going very bad for the Detroit Pistons. Because if Blake Griffin gets injured at all, that means you're left with no other offensive players besides Luke Kennard and Andre Drummond on your roster. So it's a really risky trade considering the fact that Blake Griffin is injury prone and he's always getting injured. Like I was saying about this Blake Griffin trade, it stripped them away from all of their depth. And now all they have to rely on the offensive end is Blake Griffin. Dude who hasn't played at least 67 games in an NBA season since 2015. My guy, what year is this? Siri, what year is this?
It's Monday, March 19th, 2018.
It's been 3 years since he hasn't played at least 67 games in a season. My guy, why do you think CP3 left the Clippers? This was the main reason why, because Blake Griffin was extremely unreliable. And for the Pistons to make a move like this shows desperation. That's something you never want to do because that's how you get finesse. Do you guys remember earlier into the season when the Detroit Pistons were a top 4 seed in the East? Life was pretty good for them until their starting point guard Reggie Jackson went down with an injury. And that's when things slowly started to go downhill for them. And that's what brought management or Stan Van Gundy to their tipping point. The last 15 games that they played before making that potential franchise-altering decision, the Pistons won a solid 3-12 before making the Blake trade. And at the time, they had a record of 23-26, just 3 games below 500, with Tobias Harris and Avery Bradley on their squad. But since they made that trade, instead of only being 3 games below 500, they're now 9 games below 500. They got a record of 30-39, and they just about have zero hope of making the playoffs. Damn, so this trade made them even worse than they were before. So not only did Detroit put themselves in trouble now, but their future is in jeopardy as well. My boy Sawyer, I know you crying right now because what I'm about to tell you is about to hurt you and your team even worse. Since the Pistons are an even worse team with Blake Griffin, that first round pick that the Clippers took is going to be in the lottery. And as we speak right now, that pick is projected to be number 11. You guys know a player out of the draft is projected to be picked around the 9 to 11 range. Just some dude by the name of Collin Sexton, who's viewed as a top 3 guard in the NBA draft. That dude has star point guard potential. To be real, that's exactly what the Pistons need right now, since their current point guard Reggie Jackson has turned into an injury prone player. This is his second straight season missing extended period of time. So y'all could have used a new point guard like Collin Sexton. But nope, the Clippers finessed and took that asset away from you guys as well. So not only did the Clippers rob them out of a potential star player with that first round pick, but they also gave Detroit no room to improve their roster because of that Blake Griffin contract. So that means during the offseason they aren't allowed to sign any good role players to a reasonable salary. So they're just about stuck with the roster they have now. And they have their backs against the wall. A few weeks ago, a rumor came out saying that the Pistons may end up firing their current coach slash GM Stan Van Gundy. And I don't blame him, because I'm almost 100% sure that he's the one who pushed for this trade to go through, since he has a word on what moves should be made in the front office. Bro, now looking back at this trade, it looks like the Pistons and the Clippers switched what positions their organizations was in. The Clippers now are versatile and can make anything happen within these next few years. Those guys have so many options. But for the Pistons on the other hand, nah G, that's not how it's working for them right now. Detroit is basically cornered and have no other options because of this trade. So the Clippers finessed them now, and also they're going to continue to finesse the Clippers later on down the line. The Clippers got younger, more versatile, and also they're going to have more money left to spend in free agency these next few years, while the Pistons just got older and more expensive. For this trade, the Pistons were just 3 games below 500, and now they're 9 games behind 500. I don't get it. This trade was meant to bolster their offense, but in reality, Blake Griffin didn't make their offense any better. If anything, he kind of made it worse because now they don't really have any other players to rely on. And also their spacing on the court is worse. So the Pistons dug themselves in a hole even deeper than before. And they can't do nothing about it. So these next few years, they're probably going to end up missing the playoffs. And that's going to leave their fans sick, depressed, and sad. I didn't expect this trade to backfire so fast. I was telling myself probably later down the line that Blake might get hurt again and that will be their downfall. But damn, they suck already and Blake's not even hurt. This trade right here is going to be regretted for a couple of years. Blake Griffin right now is putting up okay numbers. He's averaging 20 points, 6 boards, and 5 assists per game for the Pistons. Those are okay numbers, but damn, this is not who they traded for. Blake isn't playing like a star right now. Why is he only averaging 6 rebounds and only shooting 41% from the field as a starting power forward in the NBA? What is that? Dude's been crazy inefficient. This is the man that Detroit is going to be paying 30+ mil a year until the year 2022. Okay. Y'all got jugged, finessed by Jerry West and the Clippers. The Detroit Pistons, they need some help, and they need any type of help they can get. Anyone need a starting point guard? What the f? I mean, I just heard the word help. Dude, I left you back in the old video. I know, but I averaged 29. What, man? Let me finish this video first. Alright then. This is the end of the video, man. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you for watching, and I'll get right with you.
No way, remember back when I couldn't get a play, no home, I ain't have a place to stay, I got to work, made a certain free the way, told my girl who that